can save Yona, Weiss.
It's you, isn't it?
No! Stay back!
Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Is this beast a shade as well?
No! You've got to stop this!
Tool hope to stand against the Shadow Lord.
I don't want to hurt my friends.
Kill him, you glorious bastard!
I have a reason to live!
We're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
This ends here!
Kaine!
Our true memories are still there. How dare you ignore them?
We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so.
I shall fight by their side, now and forever.
I'm tired of this world and everybody in it. But I'll become his sword one last time.
No! Kaine!
I'm gonna save you! I swear it!
Thanks for always being there for me.
Aw, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Hi, everybody. Hi, it's me. It's my face. It's all beardy and stuff. And hi, hello. I missed you all. Welcome to the stream. Sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I needed to take a personal day. It was a really tough week. I was really busy with work and all sorts of other things were happening in life, so I needed a break, and I went and hung out with some friends. Ito, how you doing? Akihara, how you doing? Miko, thank you all for being here. So excited to see you guys. Kitsa-chan, hi, hello. But yeah, I needed the break yesterday. So I went and had a barbecue with some really good friends, and we're all vaccinated and safe, and it's just so nice being able to get back and see people and hang out and hug people again. Oh my god. I don't like people, but I miss human contact. I like hugs, okay? I like warm hugs. But yeah, so it was nice. I had barbecue yesterday with some friends. Discovered adult popsicles, which are fantastic. For those of you of legal age to drink, I highly recommend finding an adult beverage popsicle, because they are delicious. But yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time seeing friends, eating good food, sharing stories about what we're up to and what we've been doing through the pandemic. And also, Friday night, I went out with some friends to a bar. We went to, so in Hollywood, there's this bar called the Scum and Villainy Cantina, and if you haven't guessed, it is a Star Wars themed bar. And I met up with a friend that I hadn't seen in maybe 3 years. So I'm really excited. He kind of helped me out through a really tough time in my life, and I never really got to say thank you or be around him after things started to get kind of squared away in my life. And so it was nice to have that and do that again. I was very excited. So recharged my social battery and my love of life again, so that was nice. And now I'm ready to stream. I'm back, and we're going to ruin everything, all the emotional support that I built up over this weekend to start Route B with NieR Replicant. So here we go. We're gonna jump into this, and we gonna start. Yeah, it was a great time, and I hope you guys. I really do. I really hope that you guys are being safe, and you guys are that the world isn't completely falling apart wherever you are, and that you have a support system, and that you're able to go give warm hugs to your friends and your family and tell them that you love them. And also normalize telling your friends that you love them, for the love of God, because make it weird. Tell them a lot. Tell your friends you love them, because I do. And everybody needs to know that they are loved and cared for. So just saying. I'll get off my soapbox now and we'll play video games. But how are you guys? What have you guys been up to? I hope you guys have been having a nice weekend. It is hot. It is very warm here, which is why I'm wearing a button down, because it's nice and breezy, and I can open it up if I need to.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time.
Oh no.
Anyway.
It's already getting sad. Hey Shades, how you doing? Kaine's dreams, discrimination, okay. Oh, it's story time. Okay, good thing I got some water. All right, here we go. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. We're all ready. Wah! Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts, and the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as you could remember, and started. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give him the face of almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. Oh, I feel like I need to memorize this. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on! Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly towards the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no! They found me! A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo! Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. Worst of all the bullies in the area. That makes more sense. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Oh, we're talking about little girl Kaine. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. "What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home?" Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew these were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated and, if possible, destroyed. "I didn't say you could leave, freak!" Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. "He can't hurt me," she lied to herself. "Be brave, be strong. He can't hurt me, he can't hurt me, he can't— Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead?" Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. "Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. Wish Demo's rock had taken my head off." Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. "Show me." "No." "Did you just say no?" Demo grinned evilly. "You don't say no to me. No one says no to me." Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. "Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves." As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. "I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are." Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. "Go home?" "Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to." "Freak!" chanted the children. "Freak, freak, freak!" Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her entire world. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the last of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. "Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it." The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand of Demo using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. "Ow!" he screamed, leaping to his feet. "Stop it! What are you doing?" "Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch." "You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! That thing could have killed me!" The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid." Demo's face twisted with rage at her words, locking his eyes on Kaine. He took a step backward and spat on the ground. "Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Look at the fat boy go! Guess he is healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting the blood from her forehead. "Oh, Kaine," she said. "Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. "Don't be nice to me," she said. "I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore." Her tears, held in her cheek for so long, finally began to fall to the muddy ground below. "Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead." As Kaine's tears turned into sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. "Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?" The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. "You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it." As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love with the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. "Do I make you sick, Grandma?" "Of course not. Don't be an ass." Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. "But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't—" "Hush," interrupted Grandma. "I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell." With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. "Oh my gosh. These are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me?" Lunar tears were legendary flowers most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one. And yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. "Where did you find these?" "Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping." The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The shopping. The pains she took to construct the ornament sorry. I love that. I love Grandma so much. The pains took to okay. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. "Didn't quite turn out right," said her grandmother as she squinted at it. "His old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it looks good on a pretty girl like you." Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty?" course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers. Kaine took... I can read, I promise. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Daily life. Nope, that is not the one I wanted to drink. Okay. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was far from work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother... Oh, stupid piece of shit axe. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma! Called Kaine. That you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine, close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted. Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in mid-air. The old woman considered her grandmother's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Oh, crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade. But the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy girl. You better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma? Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that. Just stop, she cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across the dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her and then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted these words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air, telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed to a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in one other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had a little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. I mean, what are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! Barked Dino. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide, they seemed ready to fall out of his head, But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. "You like that picture?" Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad. They seemed to stare through her and into nothing as she spoke. "That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now." Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. "Pictures are wonderful things," continued the shopkeeper. "They let ones closest to you live on forever." He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled, handing her the medicine. He reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. "You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw." Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. "Yes, I've heard the rumors about you," he said. "It's a small village and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe. But also, I don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable." "Grandma's name is Kali," thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. "Your grandmother is an old friend of mine," he said as Kaine scooted away yet again. "I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her." "Yes, I think she would like that very much." Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you?" asked grandmother with a yawn. "Come here. Let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kaine with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. "Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, let me know." As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But Grandma, I'll make you live forever." "Horseshit," said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner." But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons and eyed her subject carefully and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. Doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, you know, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch herself staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness. In that moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I'll remember it forever. Forever. Separation. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl, it's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kaine. And I think it's burnt or something, because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh, yeah, that's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up in surprise. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make jam or something. Oh, and I'm gonna pick some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. Goddamn girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. You can worry about it some other... Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought. Instead, walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer, the flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're gonna be a woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for today. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma! Yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at Kaine and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if she... The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought she looked on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No! I won't have you stay here and keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot, I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made her ready to depart, trying to desperately ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel and for one final look, saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. With little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with the finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot on itself. No. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, with flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran then faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling to the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her. A blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard!" she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me, let's go!" The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flame, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive," thought Kaine. "Alive!" Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. "Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now!" As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might as well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to the earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire, one or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma, hold on, just a little longer." Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard! Laughing at us!" She had no idea how much a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt that the shade was taking joy in the suffering. "Yeah, I see her plan." The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard." Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back! Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted and laughed again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. "Kaine." Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for the smoke to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. "Grandma. Kaine. You gotta run. You can't best this one." Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. "Grandma, come on, we have to go." The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. "Grandma, no. No! I said run, goddammit! You have to live. You have to get through." The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible, putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel with the hands which had been in hers just for a moment. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head rolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment, laughing like a madwoman. She leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. 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 Kill it now! And the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die. She felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between her heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Oh man, that was rough. That was a lot. Oh yeah, we're gonna be unpacking a lot of that here in a minute. Let's kill the tentacle penis. Oh, I forgot how to do buttons. Oh god.
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
My sword feels lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Yes. What was that? What now? What happened? Ah, there we go. And Hulk smash. Squeeze it. Pop it like a grape. There we go. And it's gone. Oh, but it was human once. That was a human soul. That's sad. Guys, it's hot. It's real hot. It is very hot. It's getting hotter. Sorry, I'm moving the fan closer to me because I'm sweating. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought as the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No. Stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No! Don't hurt the picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now! She looks just like you! Ha! Cha-cha-cha-cha! I look like that? Oh god. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, wish, like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kaine resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her lungs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up towards the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, Sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body! Come on, give it to me, give it to me! I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in their blood just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing into a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, Sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal! I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. You and me are gonna be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. It's my favorite dish and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. You stupid idiot girl! You're possessed now, Sunshine! There ain't no going back. The voice laughed again. A loud, long wail seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me. We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, Wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies, people you want to kill. I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you, that big old shade that squashed your granny, well, wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? Hey, I don't give a goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me. We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part of it if you don't want— Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Look at you go! Oh, Sunshine. We're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyrion, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it! The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour, and I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, I think this could work. I'm gonna find that shade. I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyrion. Count on it. Ha! I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels pretty normal, she thought. Feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed. Corrupted. A freak. And this time I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to the dawn, and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Story time is over for now. Thank God! That was a lot. Oh. Oh, soft ghost boy.
Hey.
Oh yeah, this is the first time seeing him.
You were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Aw.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow. You grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Only 5 years to grow up into Ray Chase.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate
Oh no, he's
the
hot.
Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Aw. So cute. They're a
Kaine
very
waking
weird
from her
family.
long petrified sleep. Neil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain.
Thank you for taking over Ray Chase.
That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me.
I mean, true. I'm glad that Emil has like a sense of self-awareness. Like, it is sad, but like he is a floating skeleton child. Like, I love him because we know him, and he's a wonderful little soft cinnamon roll. And now I want Cinnabon. I don't know if any of you have ever had Cinnabon, but they're delicious.
As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
Yeah, let them sleep outside. Let's go sleep in our comfy bed. Throw.
I didn't get much sleep that night.
We can throw Vice up on the bookshelf.
For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the
First,
first
but
time
won't be
in
the
my
last.
life, I doubted Popola.
Also first, but won't be the last.
But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village.
You know what I just realized
To protect it from the horror of the Shades.
as we were going through story time? My windows are open. My neighbors aren't very far away.
Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola?
Their windows are also open.
In the end, I'm just as bad.
I'm sure they're very confused.
Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Like, why is the guy that just moved in screaming about murdering people and grandmas and
should apologize to Kaine and Emil. But... what good would that even do?
I got a fire going.
Wait, is that...
Oh, he's so cute. Listen to him. He's got a fire going.
I feel like I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Oh, I was hoping that we could get some interaction between the two.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for this.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
Look at him. He's all crouched up, with his hands on his
I'm
knees.
sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is... different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together.
They are
Heck,
adorable.
it'll probably be super easy.
Oh, you... Oh, Emil. You poor, sweet, innocent child. This is a Yoko Taro game that you live in. Nothing's
Let me
ever easy.
guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Go talk to your friends, you coward. I'm almost out of water, and it's warm. It's already warm. It's too hot here.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale.
I mean, he could be stone.
Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Ooh, piece of candy. I can remember how buttons work. Gold moonflower seed. And... money! Nope, nope, nope. Camera, I just want to rotate. There we go. I've been playing too many other games. And the controls are very different. Nope. 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 Okay. Alright. Berries.
Hey,
Oh, hi.
Oh, look at the puppy. Look at the puppy. Oh, he's got an itch.
I kind of thought you'd never talk to
He's
us
scratching
again.
it.
I understand you're doing this for the village. And that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
I don't know how hot it is here right now, but my cats want to cuddle and I cannot because it's insanely warm. Yeah, so it is 92 degrees Fahrenheit here. I don't know what that's like in Celsius. I want to say it's somewhere in like the 40s in Celsius. I don't know. I don't know how to convert. Because I
They're next.
grew up in the United States and they teach us how to measure things very stupidly.
Oh, and Devila?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You don't need to apologize. Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kaine know that we're sorry, alright?
All right.
Is
in the 70s? That would be wonderful.
I'd prefer not to walk so much. My back gives me a lot of pain.
Aw, poor old lady. Ooh, piece of candy. Hina Waffles, welcome! 92 Fahrenheit is about 33 degrees. I was off by a lot, and I apologize. But yeah, it's hot. Don't like it. Wait, what? Was I not supposed to go this way? I thought I was supposed to go this way. How you doing, Waffles? How's your day going? How has your weekend been? I hope it has been lovely. Oh, yeah, I definitely went the wrong way. We have to go to the library. I guess it would help if I paid attention to the game that I'm playing and not just like gush over like the characters and how awesome I think they all are. Or, you know, complain about the heat because it's so fucking hot.
Popola?
Oh, hello.
Look, I want to apologize for
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah, that
kind
is
of
pretty
you to say
warm,
so.
Akihara.
Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that.
My weekend has been, well, I acquired a CD player and it also plays cassettes, which is cool. Dude, I still have some of my cassette tapes, my cassette tapes that I used to play when I was a kid. I still have some Boys to Men albums and some, I think I even have a Crisscross album on tape. There's somewhere around. In my country, it's only 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is so nice. Oh, that does sound nice.
You know,
The temple
Oh,
where I
crap.
was first discovered.
that's it. Well, it seems that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Oh, we gotta collect the pieces again.
Oh, it was right under our pages the whole
Right
time.
under the pages.
But the bridge that leads there is unusable.
So take a boat.
A boat?
Yes, the canal's
boot.
finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected, what with the shades and all. I also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance. The ferryman will let you use it free of charge. That should make it easier for you to move from town to town.
Thanks, Popola. I feel like you've done so much for me. I'm really grateful. All right, I'll see you around.
And for the love of everything, be
Yeah, it sucks because, like, also wearing the headphones is making my ears sweaty, which is weird. It's a weird sensation when your ears sweat.
The path above the entrance to the shopping district should lead to the boat landing.
All right.
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
No.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
Medicinal herbs. All right, let's check out what are our quests right now. Incomplete quests. We don't have any. All quests. We already did all those. Okay, then let's go. She got a quest.
Just the person I wanted to see. Do you have a moment?
Well, yes, madam. I have a
What's
moment
up?
for all the pretty ladies.
Our water wheel is on its last legs. I'd like to shore it up, but the job is a little beyond my skill set.
This is a wise thought on your part. That wheel is a machine of not insignificant age. Better to repair it now than wait until it fails completely.
I suppose we'd all be in trouble if it broke. So what do we need?
Replacing the axle and the paddleboard should suffice for now. I believe the strange thing store in Facade should have everything we need.
All right. We'll head there when we have a minute.
Thank you. And while you're gone, I'll track down someone to do the actual repair work.
I thought this was a side mission that we had already done. Let's go talk to ferryman. To the ferryman.
Hey, look who it is. Remember me?
That
Yeah.
red bag. My pages. You're the slovenly half of that couple who refused to stop arguing.
Hey, it's been a while.
I like this guy.
Sure has. I've been in charge of this canal since we last talked. Apparently I did a pretty good job with it because they decided to make me the permanent ferryman.
Oh yeah, huh?
Thanks. Still, it's not all puppies and unicorns. The old ball and chain is always harping on me now about how much I work. Anyway, if you got a place to be, just let me know and I'll take you there.
All right. Lost Shrine, right? Oh, well, let's go to the desert real quick. Let's go ahead and go to Facade and get the things. Well, I guess we'll start that quest anyway. Jump, 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 jump. Yeah, you can make it. No, okay, fine, we'll take the stairs. Ah, damn. Okay, stairs. Stairs it is. It makes me really sad to know that all the little enemies that we're fighting were once humans, and they are the souls of peoples. It's even worse to know that some of them are carrying around children's books. See, and I always thought that was weird. I was like, coloring books? Why coloring books? Why? And why are they used? And now I know, and I don't want to know anymore. See, I thought we were gonna play more as Kaine.
おたくしさ
Sure, I guess. Why?
あおたざくしたとぜーざで色たたとたててち入れてい絶相すかとたて
Oh yeah, this one I know I definitely didn't do.
If I can track...
んとぜーさ
Alright, let's save real quick. Pink moonflower seeds, and I think it was the specialty store, right? That's not it, that's the weapon shop. Specialty store I think is on the other side of Facade. Nope, here it is.
Hi there. Do you carry axles and paddle boards?
かえあれでちくただとどたるテッソとレタキテ
Oh, great. So, how much do you need?
これギュッソグツ
Gotcha. I'll be back in a bit.
Water wheels are great, but they're a pain in the butt to maintain.
In the past, humans harnessed different methods to
Oh,
provide
that's right, we
energy.
needed a bunch of logs and we
Like
didn't collect
what?
those.
One such method was achieved through the intricate compounding of iron and fire.
Wow. What did they do with that?
And I think you can pick up logs like in the path that's between
Oh, a great many things.
The
It could be
village
used to power
and
large iron
seafront.
crates called trains, or illuminate whole cities against the dark of night.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh. Yeah, no thanks.
Why not?
Who wants to move a big iron crate? And how am I supposed to sleep if it's all bright outside?
Well, I suppose if you wish to look at it that way.
Besides, my life is lots of fun already.
If more people were like you, Emil, this world might not be half bad.
It's hard to believe there are
That
plants
laugh.
that can grow in this
That
desert.
little Emil laugh.
Yeah, this'll never work.
How do you mean?
I mean, if plants could grow here, it would be full of them. God, looks can be so stupid sometimes.
Have you ever planted anything before, Kaine?
Nope.
Well, then you don't know. You gotta try things out for yourself.
Indeed. Experimentation can often be the key to new knowledge.
You guys sure are a bunch of optimists.
Oh there!
Alright, let's go to seafront. Yeah, seafront. Let's go to seafront and we'll work our way backwards. You get extra scenes and dialogue. Yeah, that's still exciting to know, because then we get more of the story, which makes me happy. How many endings, or how many different, yeah, I guess endings, are there in NieR Replicant? I know that there's the standard ABC routes, but I know in like NieR Automata it was like A through Z, and some of them were silly, some of them were like you had to trigger certain events in order to get the ending. Alright, let's see if we can find some logs. 'Cause I think, do we still have all of our items? Yeah, I think we do. Do we have iron ore? I think that was way back up there. Yeah, we got 11 iron ore, so we just need the logs. You get ending A by finishing the game once, B for finishing it twice, C and D after finishing it third and fourth time with all the weapons acquired, and E after doing ending D. Okay, so do I just have to acquire all the weapons, or do I also have to like level them up all the way? Aha. Just getting them. Okay, cool. Because as much as I like the game, it would just be a pain in the ass to level them up all the way. Because that's what I was doing in NieR Automata for a while. I was actually leveling up every single weapon, and the only I have all the weapons in NieR Automata. The only one I don't have is the one you get after you beat Emil. Spoiler alert if nobody knew about that yet. Sorry. Don't need clay, I need logs. Oh wait, actually, what did that guy say I needed? Yeah, it was logs. I need logs. And moonflower seeds. Ooh, piece of candy. Let's see if that's what we need. Nope. Probably a healing. Why? All right, let's exit and come back in. See if we can get a log or two. Do you get to see all the stuff that you missed in the last route now? Probably. I don't know. You might be able to see some of it, and it'll probably be a little bit different. I would assume that it would be a little bit different anyway. I don't have any more iron ore. I need logs. Logs! Chop down a tree, make myself some logs, you know? Ooh, piece of skin. No, there's that used coloring book. I just killed a child. When I did it, it took me a whole weekend from Friday evening to Monday to get to level 99 from 63, getting all the weapons and upgrading to max. Ah, jeez. That's dedication, man. You know, I'm probably gonna end up getting tired of doing this, so we're probably gonna just end up going on the main quest. All right, yeah, let's go to the ferry. See, I get very distracted. I'm like, I can't sit and do just the leveling. I'm not good at the grind. I have to do other things. I need to know the story, so I need to move on. That is me. That is why I play games. I like the stories. I like stories. Speaking of stories and storytelling, like one of the other things I'm really excited for. So in actually it's gonna be this coming weekend. What you got, bud?
Yeah, a treasure map. You know, a map that shows you where to find buried treasure. I'm collecting them. My lifelong dream is to one day roll naked in a pile of sweet, sweet treasure.
All right, there's a little TMI, but okay.
Interesting dream.
So that's why I'm looking for a new treasure map or two. If you find one, bring it on over to me, all right?
Sure thing. I guess I should know where to look for a treasure map before telling the guy sure thing.
One could hardly expect to stumble across such a thing lying on the ground. Perhaps we should look for a place where old documents are stored.
Old documents, huh?
Like a library? Like looking in the library? We need to go to the old shrine. Oh, so that quest gives us a weapon. But what I was saying before. Now what? What do you want? Why? What do you want?
Oh, man.
What's the problem?
Well, I was distracted while I was cooking and sort of started a fire. Now I have to repair the kitchen and all my equipment. I can't make the repairs without a bunch of parts.
Yeah, that's bad news, all right.
You sure? You'll have to bring in a whole bunch of robots and take it from them, so it ain't exactly safe.
All the more reason to entrust the task to us.
This won't be our first time in the junk heap. Just let us know what you need.
Thanks. I need 1 memory alloy, 10 titanium out.
Wow.
Alright, yeah, so what I was saying was that I am going to be doing there's a thing that a friend of mine had told me about, so I'm gonna go audition for it. I didn't realize it was actually coming up this Saturday. It's called Shakes on the Rocks, and essentially it's an improv game with like Shakespeare, essentially. So it's kind of like that whole Whose Line Is It Anyway, where people generally will give you. There are children up here.
I'm sorry for all the trouble, sir.
What they'll do is they'll
mister? How come I can't see Dad?
Oh, that's a question for you, for not me. But anyway, it's like, so they have all of.
What is the purpose of this place?
Beats me. Maybe it's Popola's hobby corner.
I'll get this out at some point. But anyway, so it so you take all of Shakespeare's plays, we put them in a hat. Those are the kids that used to steal from people. Oh. We put them in a hat, and then everybody draws. Somebody draws the play that we're going to be reading that night, and then from there, because there's a set list of actors. From there, we have a hat with all of the characters in the play that we just picked, and every actor goes up and pulls a character from the play. So, it's entirely possible that we pull Romeo and Juliet, and I were to pull, like, I don't know, Lady Montague or Tybalt, or it wouldn't matter who. But then we have like 5 minutes, and then we perform the play live with randomizing the play and randomizing the characters. I think we're doing this at a bar, and I think it's just gonna be absolutely, it's so fun.
What's that?
It resembles the shade we saw in the Lost Shrine.
We saw this cube back in the Baron Temple.
Perhaps the Prince of Facade gave it to Popola as a gift?
This looks like Emil's sister.
Oh, that was a day.
An exquisite piece of work. It feels as alive as you or I.
Oh, look at its face, all twisted and smiling and creepy. Oh, that's sad.
Look, Vice, somebody made a copy of you.
Nonsense. I am nowhere near this filthy.
Cool. All right, let's go. Let us see if we can find. Yes, it will be full of chaotic energy, and I'm excited for it.
This book is pretty beat up.
As a fellow tome, I find this a sad sight to behold. When will books receive the respect they deserve?
Calm down. I'm sure it had a happy life. Let's see here. Hey, is this a map?
It is, and one with many unusual markings at that. Perhaps this is a treasure map like that fellow was referring to earlier.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's so damaged I can't make heads or tails of it.
I wager the damaged sections can be repaired. Perhaps the Facade Strange Things store would be able to assist us.
Worth a shot.
All right, let's go to Facade. Yes, I also really enjoy Vice. Vice is fantastic. I think Kaine is still my favorite character, and Laura Bailey does a fantastic job. Alright, let's save real quick. Let's go get to our ferryman. Excuse me. I'm so yawny today.
Oh there!
All right, to the desert. I mean, and that was another thing. That's another reason I had to take off yesterday. It was just because I wasn't sleeping this last week. I don't know what it is. Normally I'm not. So normally I don't sleep a full 8 hours like most people do. Even if I wanted to, my body will generally wake me up after like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. But this past week, I was sleeping maybe 2 or 3 hours a night, just because my anxiety was triggering some sort of insomnia response. Because like I felt tired, but I could not, for the life of me, fall asleep. Do any of you go through anything like that? Do you guys suffer from insomnia or ooh, here's another one. Do you guys sleepwalk? Because I've got some stories. When I was a kid, I used to sleepwalk all the time, apparently. Not that I remembered any of this, but I think so. It started, I think, the first time that my parents realized that I would sleepwalk was when I was really little. I was maybe like 4, 5 years old. I guess I got out of bed, and my mom, who was in college at the time, was studying at her desk, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. And apparently I came by with like a big blanket, like a comforter, and I came over to her and I was like, "Hey mom, are you cold?" And she's like, "Yes." And she saw that I had the blanket in my hands, and she reached out thinking that I was giving her the blanket, and that was not the case, because I said okay, and then turned around and walked back to my bedroom.
Hey, can you fix damaged books?
打ち崩さるとと
And what would those materials be?
シサやら監査とタク監査
Oh
Yeah,
man. All right, so what do I got? Do I have any of this? We need eggplants and machine oil. Okay, we can handle the machine oil, and I think we can buy the eggplants. Sometimes can't sleep because of stress. Yeah, that. I think that's really what it was this last week. This last week for me, it was just stress, man. There was just a lot of work, a lot of life was happening this last week, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't fall asleep. It was just not a thing that was in the cards for me. Sorry, I thought I felt something crawling on my hand, and it was just a cable. Ooh, piece of candy. I do not sleepwalk, but I do sleep talk a lot. My brother does too. My mom used to tell a story that one night she had heard shouting and cursing, thought we were fighting, but lights were off and we were actually sleeping, but sleep cussing at each other. My brother CJ used to have conversations in his sleep. Sometimes he would roll over and be like, "Hey, hand me that." And we're like, "What?" And then he would reach out his hand. He was like, "Hand me that." And so I would slap his hand, and then he would say thank you and roll over to sleep. But most of the time, it was just gibberish and nonsense. He couldn't understand what he was saying. For me, though, there were more times where I woke up, like when I was sleepwalking. So I'm gonna go to. Let's go back to the village real quick.
Oh there!
So I think that's where I'm gonna buy the eggplant. But yeah, there was one time where I don't remember sleepwalking. I know I do remember that I was dreaming, and I had been in bed, and then all of a sudden these bright lights turned on, and I was standing in the bathroom in our family home, and my dad was just looking at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was just shocked because that's not where I thought I was. I thought I was asleep.
You
and he's
saved
like,
his
"Do you need to use
From
the
now
bathroom
on,
or
I'm
something?
giving you a
What's going
discount.
on? And I was like, yes, not knowing. I had no clue why I was in the bathroom. But then he was like, yeah, just go and then go back to bed. Can't go to bed at 5 a.m. and then I feel really bad. Don't sleep talk, but my brother told me that I dreamed I was a tree and yelled that I didn't want to be cut down. Oh no. Eggplant. Let's get a few of these.
Come again any.
Actually, hang on. What else did you have? I don't think you had anything else I needed, but yeah, nothing else I needed.
Come again.
I just need some logs, man. Nobody sells logs?
I know it's all.
Nope. All
My
right.
husband keeps nagging me about how this is no time to grow flowers.
Goat hides, and what else did we need? Machine oil. So we gotta go to the junk heap. I worked for 4 years, night shift. My internal clock is still a mess after a whole month. Dude, yeah, tell me about it. Like, I used to work for a movie theater, and sometimes I would work a closing shift, which would end at like 3 in the morning, and then I would have to do the opening shift, which started at like 7, which isn't exactly legal, but, you know, I needed a job. Okay, where was I going again? Northern Plains, because I need to get to the junk heap. Can be sleepy at 8 p.m. sometimes, and others is 5 a.m. and still up. Yeah. Yeah, dude, It was just like, I feel sleepy. Like, this whole week I felt super sleepy, but I just could not do it. My brain would not turn off. Random music was playing in my head that that was super loud. And then not only that, like, especially when I can't sleep, a lot of times what happens is that I'm just very hyper aware of everything that's going on. Like, I'll be lying in bed and I'm like, oh, I can hear a little drip in the bathroom, or oh, the cars outside are being super loud right now, or like, oh, I didn't turn off my computer, so like I can hear the fans running and it's driving me insane. Be sleepy at 8 p.m. sometimes. They're 5 a.m. and college is a sleep schedule. Only 1 hour to 18. Yeah, but on normal nights, I'm good on like 5-6 hours of sleep, but like 2 to 3 hours throughout the entire week, oof. Ugh, woof, man, it just sucks. I am going the wrong way to get to the junk heap. It is also much better for me to sleep with, like, I need to kind of like hold on to something, cause I have this thing where I'll toss and turn all night. Like, I have a not great mattress. I need to figure something out there. But to keep me from tossing and turning all night, what I'll do is I'll just grab a pillow and kind of cuddle it. That way I kind of like stay on my side. Sometimes I'll flip back over to my back, but yeah, that is another thing that kind of helps me just stay asleep and not move around so much. It's just kind of holding on to a pillow. So I needs me a stuffed animal to sleep. Yeah, I don't know what it is about just having something to hold on to. It just makes me not move around as much. when I'm in bed. So I don't know, maybe I need to get like a full body pillow or something. Mousetail. Alright, so we need some machine oil, yeah? Let's get it. Let's get some machine oil. I roll like crazy, but I always end up sleeping on my stomach, which I hate. I used to only sleep on my stomach for a while. Like, exclusively. Door is broken. How dare you? How dare you be broken, door? Fall down. Fall down.
I detect not a whit of intelligence from within that clump of iron.
Who cares if it's smart when
awesome.
it can
Well,
smash
we
you
need
into a
titanium
pancake?
alloy.
No mere machine can hope to prevail against our intelligence and skill.
Wow, thanks, Book. I feel so much better already.
See, I would love to sleep as still as a brick. Just be there like a frickin' rock. That sounds like such a peaceful sleep. I do not get that. That is not what I get. All right, some broken motors. We needed some of those. I know we got some titanium alloy a second ago. Oil. I need oil. Oil. Severed cable. Broken motors. Severed cable. Man, I think we got all of our broken motors. I like to sleep on my side, but my body's like, nah, we're getting chest pain. That's actually another reason that I sleep with a pillow, is like when I sleep on my side, the pillow helps keep my chest open. Otherwise, like, I have a very broad chest, and so like if I'm sleeping on my side, my shoulder will roll in, and it just cuts everything off here. So it's way more comfortable for me to have like a pillow there, so I can rest my arm and like I don't close in on myself. So maybe that's something you can try. No oil so far. I love the music here in the junk heap. Mysterious switch. Ooh. I like a good mystery. Too big, gonna keep rolling around. I like me a nice big bed. Like if I had a king size mattress, I'd be so happy. Like, I'm good with my queen, but a nice big California king. Oof. Oh, that's comforting. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? We got a lot of broken motors. We need more titanium and 1 memory. And here we still didn't get any machine oil. You know, I wonder if we can actually buy that. Let's get out of here. Let's go check in with the boy, the murderous boy. To the junk shop. Here's another question for you guys, just because, like, I don't know what I want to stream on Saturdays, because we've gone through the Last of Us series, and I don't know what I want to stream now. Like, we were doing the Sea of Thieves and stuff.
They appear to be out at the moment.
Oh, shit. Well, poop. Damn. Alright, you know what? Let's continue on with the story. And maybe that'll bring back the boys. But yeah, but it also got me thinking about, you know, what games do I want to stream? And it got me thinking about what games that I used to play when I was a kid, and like the games that I grew up playing and that I loved playing, and yeah, so I was curious, what games were the games that got you guys into gaming? Because it was, for me, it was like old school Legend of Zelda, JRPGs like the Final Fantasy series. My first Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy VIII, but 9 is my favorite. I was also really big into the horror game genre, so like I really love the Silent Hill series and Resident Evil was another one of my favorites way back in the day. God damn it. But the more and more I played JRPGs, I was like, oh yeah, storytelling. Sometimes some of these stories are great, which is actually why I love Final Fantasy IX so much. Like, every character in Final Fantasy IX has such a good development, and there's a good story, but that kind of oversees the entire game. I forgot where I'm supposed to be going. All quests. What are we doing right now? Creaky water wheel, life in the sands. Right. Let's go. We need to go to the ferryman. We're going to the temple. That's where we're going. Oh there. I think the game that actually got me into gaming was Okami. I've heard so much about Okami, and a lot of people within the community, or the original Founders Club community, were really into Okami.
The Lost Shrine's up ahead, just past this cave.
Not a gamer. The only game I really play is Genshin. Oh,
Well,
then Ito,
let us make haste.
What are your what is your hobby then? Like, what is something that you enjoy doing? It doesn't have to be gaming related or anything like that. Whatever drives you to make something with your hands, or oh, this is new. Interesting. Oh, Sims definitely counts. I love The Sims. That was a new scene, though. We hadn't seen that before. I didn't even know that their names were Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, see, and that's okay. So I get why people love Genshin. I can't do it because I can't grind. I'm not a grinder. I think the only games that I was ever happy doing any sort of grinding on were Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Those are the only games that I like to grind. Every other game, I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm done. It just gets boring and tedious. Like, I can't. If the game no longer becomes fun because of the grind, then I don't want to do it. I get the appeal of Genshin Impact for a lot of people. And I have a lot of friends that are in Genshin Impact as voice actors, and I want to support them, and I want the things that they're in to succeed, so I'll watch their shows, I'll play their games, but that is a game that I have such a hard time. I have a hard time with it. It's difficult for me to be excited about Genshin Impact when I'm playing it. Oh, he's sad that Grimoire Vice has been taken away. Hansel is dead. No reason for me to exist anymore. Oh man. And the other shades are talking to him. We're humanizing the shades even more, and I don't like it. I'm already AR-56 in Genshin. The only reason I'm still playing is that the story is very interesting to me. See, and that's the thing. Like, I get so involved into the grind that I forget about the story.
We finally get to bathe in blood.
Oh, Tyrion.
Don't talk to me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
Interesting. I think that was the first time that we heard Tyrion speak. Spiral, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Root A, I'm an asshole. Root B, oh, I'm definitely an asshole. Yeah, I'm going to that special hell, aren't I? Just stopping by for a bit. No worries, dude. How's your weekend going? Hope everything's all right. Staying safe, staying healthy. Also, Genshin Impact is such a large game, I get lost in kind of what I'm supposed to be doing. It is just huge, and I get overwhelmed, and so I just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just gonna not. take the doorways around. And pull and pull. And push. Can you push that one? No. Nope. Can I pull you? Yep. Pull you. And push you. And we're gonna push you some more. Made pasta. Oh, that sounds delicious. I want pasta.
This is all too easy.
What kind of pasta was it? Like, was it spaghetti? Was it penne? Rotini? Linguine? Fettuccine? Penne. Oh. Oh, you know, it's been a while since I used to make a really good baked ziti and a nice lasagna, and I haven't had either one of those in a really long time. I want carbs, god damn it. Do I want pizza? Oh, oh fuck. I want pizza, don't I? See, and I was trying to be good. I was trying to get rid of the COVID weight. I am not yesterday. Tried to farm some artifacts and 3 artifacts with Geo bonus. I'm trying to be good and not eat like the fat kid that I was when I was in quarantine. And I'm trying to, you know, be sexy again, but that's not working out. Oh, I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing. Okay. But now I want pizza. Or chicken wings? Oh, yeah, some nice hot wings. Ooh, that'd be good. Fudge. Let's push over more. Yeah, it can. Yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, I saw Black Widow. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I saw it with some friends. Deneen invited me out to go see it with some other humans. That I didn't get to spend a lot of time with those people because I had another thing that I had to go do. But yeah, I enjoyed Black Widow. I thought it was great. Of course, I'm a huge fan of everybody in that cast. So, yes.
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety shades.
Their
very
bodies
different
aren't
tonally.
fully
Yeah.
functional.
And the just
a cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
Sorry, this is the first time that we've run into Tyrion dialogue, so I'm a little interested in that. Mixed on Taskmaster. No, dude, I loved all of it. And the allegory of the film with the human trafficking, especially the trafficking of little girls. Like, it's heavy. It's heavy for a Marvel film. Like, and they lighten it up with a lot of the Red Guardian and his antics, but like, it's cool. Oh man. Now you have Duolingo Kaine, and you can even feel even worse because you can understand the kids you're killing. Yeah, I don't want to kill shades anymore, guys. I don't want to do it. Okay, let's move you back, and we'll push you forward. And then we'll push this over some more. Can I pull you down? Yes, I can. Cool. So I want that box. What's inside that box? What's in the box? It's medicinal. I guess I can use that, right? Just use that, pick that up. But like in terms of superhero movies though, I'm really getting burnt out. Like I really am. Not to say that they aren't good. Like I watched all of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I watched all of WandaVision. I'm ready for the finale of Loki, but at the same time, I'm getting a little tired. Like I need something else. I need something other than the MCU or really bad DC movies. Now, Warner Brothers and DC, they make fantastic animated shows, and animated movies. I don't understand why none of that translates so well to their live-action crap. Yes, I also enjoy this game quite a lot. Oof. I've treated you all poorly. I mocked you, betrayed you, all because you went gestalt before the change was complete. After all this, I think I can understand you. I think we can speak as equals. This makes me very happy. I hope we can live the rest of our lives. Oh, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna fuck everything up. Oh, God. I hate this. Oh, no. He's sitting over here in his depression. His sister's dead. Grimoire Vice is gone. He has no purpose. And I'm just gonna come in and wreck his shit.
Look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun.
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
Emil.
It's like Emil's like, please don't.
Mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kaine. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast.
Emil, that's enough. I got a fucking image to maintain.
I love their dynamic. I always get lost trying to get into this place. Never remember how. Down this way. And then, yep, there we go.
This is hardly the time to be writing a letter.
Just kick him aside.
Just wanted to see. Oh no! So many balls. Ouchie. There we go. Save complete. Ka-chow. Oh, what's happening? There's a rumble. Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna wreck his shit, and this is sad.
What's going on? There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light. Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
I'm not their leader. Because I who rely on them. Oh no, why? He just wants to protect them. They are his new purpose. And we're just slaughtering them. Like there's blood everywhere.
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying here.
Foolish creatures. You cannot hope to best me.
These little bastards just keep coming.
These creatures cannot abide the sun. Lure them into the light.
Oh man. A mainline Kingdom Hearts game, oh god.
Have you felled the beast?
Kyle McCarley! Kyle McCarley's rating the party 26. Hi bud, how you doing? Word. Ah. Hi Hacker Clan. Welcome. Just so you know, we're in Route B right now, and I am because now we can understand what the shades are saying as the audience of the game. CJ36, thanks friendo, thanks for the follow. But oh my god, I'm getting emotionally wrecked here. Oh
this
god.
Is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Hey there, Sunshine. You ain't feeling bad this week, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You gotta lust for blood, embrace the slaughter.
So, I'm pretty sure Kyle was also playing NieR Replicant. Where are you guys at in the game? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Kaine!
I forgot that this happened.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Yeah, so spoiler warning for Route B. Oh, Kikiverse says, yeah, just finished Route A. Okay. Yeah, we're in the semi-beginning of Route B. Route B began with a lot of reading. It was story time. So spoiler warning for you guys that main Kyle's channel. Yeah, we're a little further ahead than that. But welcome everybody. Hi. Glad you're here. Warm hugs to everybody.
Kaine! Are you alright? Kaine!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
Yeah, there's kind of like the giant spike sticking through her chest.
No!
That's
Kaine!
ooh. That's a little difficult.
happening?
It's all over for you, sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine!
That Route A ending though, that still hits pretty hard. All right, I gotta kick Kaine's ass.
It's Kaine's shade!
With no other choice, we must strike it down.
Kaine!
Liam O'Brien? Yes, that is Liam O'Brien. I'm excited to check out all of the new like Vox Machina stuff, like, and all the Critical Role things that have been coming out. I have not kept up with Critical Role at all.
Pin her down.
Kaine, please! Come back!
Oh dear.
At least I'm
Kaine!
like 99% certain it's Liam O'Brien. Let me just double check that. Yes. Okay. I hate that, like, sometimes I'll be like, oh yes, this is definitely this actor, and it's totally not that actor, and I feel really bad all the time.
I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my
Cinnamon
friend,
roll boy.
and I need you. So don't you dare leave me.
All right. Stop crying. And thanks. I'm all right.
All right.
Over there.
We get the first piece of our puzzle. Yeah, Route B is like in Replicant is like Route B in Automata, because you kind of understand the machines a little bit more, and you get more of their story, and you just don't want to kill them anymore. That's what this is feeling
It's got
like.
some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
And I don't like it. It's making me feel like an asshole. The game's making me be an asshole.
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this. I wrote down all the words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given that you found it in the Lost Shrine, the words must mean something.
Because, like, we're not exactly the bad guys, but, like, we are also destroying innocent souls.
There are spaces here for 4 other: sacrifice, the law of robotics, the memory tree, loyal Cerberus. The law of robotics probably refers to the junk heap, and the memory tree might be the forest of myth. But as for sacrifice and loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem. If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find.
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
Yes, rampage!
They're just shades. Besides, it's the only way to reach the Shadow Lord.
It's a dangerous task.
Yeah, well, Yona's in even more danger.
But how can you even be sure that she's...
Because she is! Right? The junk heap and the forest of myth, yeah? I'm on my way.
Please be careful.
Alright, so what do we want to do, guys?
And listen, about Kaine and Emil. The villagers know how much they've sacrificed, and they're thankful. It's just... They're scared, you know? People can't change overnight.
Do we want more story time?
I'll hurry them along the best I can.
Or do we want to go to the junk heap?
I'll try.
Because we can do more story time. I think because we've got time for one of these. Because we can get all of our story time out of the way now, or we can go to the junk heap and destroy things. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? What are we doing? Is it story time? Are we doing stories? Are we doing stories? Are we slaughtering machines?
Popola said we might be able to find something in the Forest of Myth.
All right, Pockets. Pockets, go get yourself some beer and popcorn, as we're headed to the Forest of Myth. Also, if you don't mind grabbing me a nice cold one, what are we drinking today? Yesterday at a barbecue, I tasted a very strange beer that a friend of mine got. Old Pal from Lazy Dog. Nice. He bought... I don't know if any of you are familiar with the candy... Ooh, like it. If the Sour Warheads candy, anybody familiar with that? Yeah, there's a sour beer that is based on the flavors of Sour Warheads. And I tasted the watermelon, and it wasn't that great, to be honest. It didn't translate well. What probably would have made it better is that if I had some actual watermelon flavored warheads and put them in the beer and let it kind of like soak in there, and the beer would take up a little bit more of the flavor. It might have been good. But I was happy with some Allagash, Hefeweizen. A nice wheat beer. It was nice for a hot day. It was nice cold beer for a hot day. I don't drink a lot of beer. I prefer whiskey. This isn't where I parked my car. That sounds revolting. Also, hi Riha, how you doing? I went the wrong way. Ooh, piece of candy. But it was so nice. I can't express how nice it was to be outside and see friends and their faces and enjoy their company and hug humans. Ooh, piece of candy. Silver ore. This is... That's the way to the desert. Why am I going to the wrong place? Forest of Myth is in the Northern Plains. I am a big dummy head. Alright, let's go not here. I don't know why I thought it was this way. And y'all just let me do it. You knew I was headed to the Forest of Myth and you let me go. I'm kidding. I don't expect you guys to to dictate where I'm supposed to be. All right, Northern Plains. And there's even a big red X on my map. I'm dumb. Riha, though, the lemon Warhead beer was actually kind of sour, and if I liked artificial lemon flavored things, I probably would have liked it, but I don't. I don't like artificial lemon. It's just bleh. Artificial lemon candies, bleh. Not my thing. I do enjoy an actual lemon. Like as a kid, that was like one of my favorite snacks. It was like get a lemon, and I'd have like a thing of salt nearby, and then I would just suck on the lemon and salt. It was great. What about whiskey sour? I'll do a whiskey sour. I'll even do. I like a nice New York whiskey sour. So that's a basic whiskey sour, but you float some red wine on the top. It's so good.
The home of that blasted dream.
Yeah.
Okay, let's save real quick. All right, give me 1 second before we start story time. I'm gonna need some water. So I'm gonna go grab that. Real quick. I'll be right back. Be right back. All right, here we go. Let's do the thing. Put the controller. There it is.
Oh, hello. How are things? You want to know if anything unusual is happening? Well, I have been feeling a rather strange presence whenever I visit the Divine Tree.
The Divine Tree?
It's a legendary tree that exists in the heart of our village.
Did you investigate the cause of this presence?
Not really, no.
And why not?
Well, we're not really supposed to go near the tree, except for prayer.
And see, with beer, like, it took me a while for beer. I enjoy beer, but I have to be in the mood for it. Beer fills me up really quick, and I don't like feeling so full.
And why is that?
I don't know. It's just how things have always been.
Weird.
All right, Divine Tree. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
We are the grass, the trees, the woods.
Ito, I made a drink that I found a recipe for. It's called the Wellerman. It's made with matcha and rum, and it's actually pretty good.
Why do we seem to encounter nothing but odd people lately?
Oh, I love me a spicy drink.
You should talk, Vice.
As if Grimoire...
Hang on.
Oops.
I don't think it's done.
Is the dark entity that governs all memories. May the words form themselves to your liking.
Does that mean it'll tell us what we want to know? That'd be nice.
Black. Pure darkness. Painted over everything. Words. Scattered here and there across the blackness. Kind words. Difficult words. Amorous words. All sparkling in the dark like jewels. The words were few now, but time was shorter. Grabbing the words in desperation, the tree turned to the sky. "This is wrong," whispered the tree in a voice of wind through the leaves. "This is not how it was supposed to be. The plan has failed." Once, long ago, the tree had remembered everything about the world. This was its task, its function, its purpose. It shivered with something approaching joy as it collected the memories of mankind. This was no accident. Emotions were as much a part of the tree as root and bark. Memories collected like dew on the thick green leaves of the tree. And once they had formed a web that spanned the entire world. Words collapsed into sunlight before passing through the leaves and into the pool of memory. From the pool, the words joined together to form colonies. The colonies united into whirlpools of light, and the light coalesced into stars. Each star was like a child of the tree, and it loved them all. Look at my memory. A child is here, brought low by disease. He is far too young to have suffered so. Thin beyond words, the boy's skin is a shade paler than the bleached sheets upon which he lies. His parents no longer visit him, for they cannot bear to watch him suffer. The doctors have long since surrendered his fate to the gods. The boy, too, had abandoned hope. Strange emotions, weariness, hatred swell within the dark recesses of his young heart. He tries to reject the black terror that germinates in his body, but no amount of effort or tears can drive the invader away. He has long ceased to resent his parents and doctors. Once he did, but now his pain is so great that there is little room in his heart to think of others. Only one person brings the boy comfort. A healthy young girl with tan skin and deep blue eyes. Excuse me. She is a beacon of brightness and the light in the boy's world. Her very presence is a comfort to him. But he is unable to look upon her face. Whenever they meet, the boy is filled with loathing from his own state. Soon this loathing eats away at what joy he receives from the girl's visits. The girl will stop coming. He knows this. His every waking moment is spent in fear of this day. He thinks that if he could talk to her, if he could tell her of his feelings, this might not be so. But this conversation never happens. The girl disappears. The boy dies alone. The tree scoops up this memory and carefully stores it within itself. Etched upon it is a single word: envy. Look at my memory. There is a female warrior. Her greatest enemy is a beast with red eyes that she cannot fully comprehend. When she strikes it with her sword, it turns into a pillar of salt and dies. But when the white smoke clears, a new enemy rises, and another. And another. The warrior knows that her struggle is folly, but fighting the unending stream of enemies fills her with a sense of joy and purpose. Somewhere deep in the warrior's drug-addled mind lies a vague memory of a daughter. Perhaps the child exists only in her head, the dying remnants of a powerful dream she does not know. Her friends and fellow warriors come and go. Some flee in terror, some are eaten. She began the fight with 63 companions, but most are gone now. The warrior's body shudders. She does not understand why at first. By the time she hears the fierce, low sound, the arena is already enclosed in darkness. Looking up, the warrior sees a beast so large that it blots out the sky. She is laughing. She has been doing so for as long as she can remember. Covered in blood and dirt, the warrior laughs. She laughs and laughs until the town contains her laughter, collapses into a pile of dust. This memory has been stored for a long time. It is etched with a single word: loss. Look at my memory. A red dragon falls from the heavens. Ah. That memory has been lost. A shame. It was a favorite of mine. After many centuries of existence, the tree saw that its carefully labeled memories were beginning to dwindle. Once seemingly infinite, the memories now seemed ready to disappear forever. The tree did not feel sadness at this. Grief was an emotion beyond its comprehension. It did, however, have the distinct feeling that something was missing. The mountain of memories it had so carefully assembled had disappeared. The tree stretched its branches as far as it could, but new memories refused to flow. The pool of memories was a black, empty pit, a hollow place where life once flourished. The tree had lost its purpose. There was nothing to be done but sift through the few remaining memories littering the ground under its branches. This is why the tree was pleased when the young man and his companion entered the room. Well, this place is gloomy as hell. The room James had entered was almost completely empty. All he could see were a few crystals scattered haphazardly on the ground. Picking up one of the crystals and peering into it, James suddenly saw a familiar sight. It was the Forest of Myth, its villagers prisoners of their own dreams. I apologize, the tree thought, that this is all that remains. As James stared at the jewel, bewildered, a voice suddenly called out from the depths of his mind. The voice implored them to listen. It was an order. Following it was mandatory. Abruptly, the pair realized that they must listen. They must listen. Look there. A small, shadowy presence appeared from beneath the floor. It appeared to be a shade. The shade grasped several jewels in its hand. More jewels tumbled out of its mouth like shards of broken teeth, sights and sounds tinkling from each one before vanishing forever. The creature was abusing these memories, treating the precious objects like a collection of cheap playroom toys. This shade appears to be consuming the memories. These things eat memories? The tree extended a branch toward James. Without a second thought, James brought his blade down on the shade, tearing its stomach wide. Jewels burst from the shade and poured across the chamber floor. Look, thought the tree. There is the conviction memory I had lost, and satisfaction, and many others as well. Yes, this is good. The tree opened its mouth and attempted to speak, but no sound emerged. A millennium of silence and solitude had caused the tree to forget certain things, but rather than be upset, it greeted the development with good cheer. Focusing all its power on the riddle of speech, the tree formed a kind of makeshift vocal cord and tried again. I implore. It spat out a glimmering green jewel. One more time. I implore you. There we go. What was the color of the lost envy? Shit. I think it was green.
You let it slip through your
Damn it.
fingers.
Come on, we have to go back to that stupid land of words again?
Ah! Crap. Oh man, I don't know if we have time. Yeah, we don't have time. Crap. Okay. Alright, we're gonna end it here. But I appreciate you guys for joining me for story time. I'm gonna save real quick, and we're gonna come right over NieR so I can address you. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Kyle McCarley, for the raid and all the people coming in. Yeah, I got it wrong. I'm sorry. Was it red? Was it red? Was it a red jewel? It was probably a red jewel. I think it was a red jewel. I don't know. I was not paying that much attention. I liked the story. But anyway, yes, thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I might not be streaming this Saturday. I will definitely be streaming on Sunday. I'll be streaming more of Route B. For those of you from the Hacker Clan that came over, if you want to avoid the spoilers, and I think some of you have already played the game, don't feel like you have to come, even if Kyle sends the raid again, because I don't want to spoil anything for you if you don't want anything spoiled. But I'm always happy to have you guys here. I am going to try to figure out what we're going to do for our Saturday streams as kind of a more permanent game. We've just kind of been like winging it every Saturday. But this Saturday, again, not streaming this Saturday because I'm going to do the Shakespeare thing. But yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Let's see if anybody is on. I don't think so. Nobody that I really know or know well enough to raid. So I think that's where we're just gonna end it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.